Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take your sources, dig in, and pull out the key insights.
Yep, basically making you well-informed fast.
And for you or our listener, the learner, we know you want that deep knowledge, but, without feeling totally overwhelmed.
Exactly. So today's deep dive, we're looking at the principles of relaxation from a book you sent us. Be Yourself, a Guidebook to the Art of Relaxation by Israel Regardie.
Right, this one's interesting. Published 65, but based on work from way back in 1938, it gives this unique angle on tackling tension and unlocking your potential.
And Regardie's own path is pretty fascinating too. He started with relaxation and psychotherapy, then kind of shifted gears towards Reich's vegetotherapy.
Which is more about the body's role in emotions, right?
Right, but then he actually came back to these earlier relaxation techniques. So this book is like a window into those original unrevised methods.
Kind of like seeing the raw blueprint of his thinking.
Precisely. A direct look at his initial ideas on what real relaxation is all about.
Okay, so let's jump in. The book really kicks off with this question that stops you in your tracks. Can you truly be yourself if you're constantly tense, even if you don't realize it?
It really does make you pause. And Regardie's core idea is that, well, most of us aren't really being our true selves.
Not because of outside stuff, but inner conflict.
Yeah, exactly. Inner conflict that shows up as nervous and muscular tension. That's the key barrier he identifies.
He talks about two forces, right? Like this inner energy wanting out.
Yeah, this dynamic drive for expression.
And then the ego, sort of holding it back because of social rules and expectations.
Spot on. He gives examples like, society maybe frowning on large families back then, seeing that as instincts needing modification, or creative talents not getting the support they need.
So we learn to suppress parts of ourselves.
And the really sneaky part is that this tension is often unconscious. We carry it around, even when we think we're resting, even sleeping.
Which is just a huge energy drain, like leaving the car idling all night.
Totally. It becomes this background noise we just stop noticing. He uses a great comparison.
The animals. A sleeping cat or a baby.
Yes. Perfect examples of just complete natural relaxation. That's the ideal state he points to. They can go from 0 to 60 and back to 0 without holding anything.
And to show this involuntary tension, he describes an experiment.
Oh yeah, the leg lift. You lie down, someone lifts your leg, lets it drop. Simple.
Then they lift it again, support the thigh, but let the ankle go.
And typically, the lower leg just stays there, tense. You're not trying to hold it, but the muscles are firing anyway.
It really shows how much we hold without meaning to.
Which connects directly to how much energy we're probably wasting. Regardie links this right back to modern life.
All that vitality we need for work, for fun.
Is just getting burned up by this underlying tension. He even shares some stats from the book.
Yeah, those are eye-opening. Basal metabolism, heart, breathing, they take energy, obviously.
But then he says muscular tension from worry, excitement, that can eat up half our total energy, even supposedly at rest.
Half. That's massive.
It really is. And think about that example he uses, feeling exhausted after just sitting in the dentist's waiting room.
Oh, totally relatable. You haven't done anything but the dread, the anticipation.
Your muscles are already tensed up.
Yeah.
It's genuinely tiring.
Yeah.
That mental state directly drains physical energy.
It's like your body's bracing for impact that hasn't happened. And this constant tension, he argues, makes it harder to actually rest properly and even digest food.
Yeah, it hinders recovery. He compares it to throwing good food away. Your body isn't relaxed enough to properly assimilate the nutrients.
He quotes Annie Pacencall, too, from Power Through Repose.
About people actively holding themselves tense in bed instead of letting go.
Fighting sleep, almost. She points out specific spots, too, right?
Yeah, the spine, knees, legs, hands, arms, fingers clenched.
Even the head, tongue, throat, face.
Exactly. It's this pervasive, often unnoticed resistance to letting go. And all that activity, Regardie says, burns through vital energy. So learning to relax isn't just nice, it's essential.
Okay, so he's laid out the problem, this hidden tension. What are the first steps towards actually doing something about it?
Well, the first big step is self-awareness. He really frames relaxation as an art, a skill we've maybe lost but can relearn.
And it starts simply, like lying on a hard surface.
Yeah, counterintuitively, the slight discomfort actually makes you more aware of where you're holding tension. It gives you feedback.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And then the deep sighs from the belly.
Right. The idea is relaxing the diaphragm, the core breathing muscles, can trigger a wider relaxation response through the whole body. Start at the center.
And paying attention is key, really noticing the sensations. He compares the body to a partner.
Yeah, a lifelong partner. Get to know its habits, its tendencies, learn to cooperate with it, not fight it.
To make this really concrete, he walks through a typical session with someone he calls Mr. A.
Right, Mr. A, always tired, no obvious physical cause. I'm pretty skeptical about this whole relaxation thing being the answer.
So the session starts, Mr. A lies down, Regardie guides him. Deep sighs, close eyes, focus inwards.
Bringing the attention inside. Then they do the leg lift experiment.
And predictably, Mr. A can't fully let go, that unconscious holding pattern.
Yep. But then comes the key bit. Regardie supports the thigh, lets the ankle go, and they both see that involuntary tension, keeping the lower leg up.
And Regardie explicitly links that tension to Mr. A's fatigue. That's the insight, the direct connection.
What's cool is how quickly Mr. A gets it when they try the other leg. He relaxes it much easier.
So awareness really is the first step to release.
Exactly. Just knowing it's happening allows you to start letting it go, stop that energy leak.
Mr. A then mentions feeling kinks in his back and shoulders.
And Regardie explains that's often just resistance to gravity. So he shows him a hip relaxation technique, lifting the legs, moving the knees side to side.
Demonstrating the resistance, then the release.
Then they do the arms, shake the hand, support the elbow, let the forearm hang. And again, that initial tension.
Until he becomes aware of it. Regardie distinguishes between useful tension and this.
I'll see you. Yeah.
This useless habitual kind, right?
Vital distinction. Then there's the shoulder shrugging, one side at a time.
Breaking old coordination patterns.
Yep. And Regardie physically moves the shoulders too. And they notice Mr. A's head starts to waggle a bit as the neck lets go.
A physical sign of release. The session ends with Mr. Kother Ade, a feeling quieter inside, more poised.
Which Regardie sees as a good sign of real relaxation setting in. But it's just the start. Next up is tackling the abdomen and chest.
This part sounded quite revealing. Regardie presses gently near the hip bone, then moves inwards towards the navel.
And immediately there's that defensive muscle contraction.
Yeah.
Even gentle touch shows the underlying tension.
He calls it a mental iron wall of defense against pain or discomfort.
Yeah, a powerful image. And he stresses that fighting the pressure just makes it worse. You have to learn to yield, to allow.
And Mr. A starts sighing contentedly during this.
Which again highlights that link. Sighing equals deeper release.
Then they move to the chest, hands on the ribs, gentle pressure on the exhale.
To feel the natural flexibility of the whole breathing system. Lungs, chest, ribs.
Regardie points out how emotional stress can literally stiffen the rib cage, and how focusing on one part of breathing reveals tension elsewhere.
Like, are you breathing mainly low in the belly or high up by the collarbones? It shows your patterns.
And again, the main point, awareness is often enough to start the release. Just noticing the holding.
Exactly, shining a light on it.
The last area in this session is the head. Similar lift and drop for the neck.
Right, releasing that neck tension.
Yeah.
And Mr. A's comment is telling. He finally feels like his body is a comfortable place to be.
Regardie mentions people often fall asleep at this point. The relief is just overwhelming.
Yeah, it can be. He explains it as the mind-body link. Obvious physical activity drops, and the conditioned response is sleep. But he says that fades with practice.
Okay, so that's the initial process. What about the longer-term benefits of doing this regularly?
This is where it gets really interesting. As you get used to relaxing, that vital energy isn't wasted on tension anymore.
It gets redirected.
To your mind, basically. Sharpening your focus, your mental abilities. The insight is, relaxation fuels mental clarity.
He uses that incubation analogy, right? The saved energy hatches the personality.
Yeah, leading to more boldness, clarity, noticeable poise. People can actually see the repose in you.
So for listeners wanting to try this themselves without a practitioner, he gives a self-operated technique.
Yes, attributed to a brilliant relaxation exponent. It involves really slow, mindful movements.
The leg dragging one, lifting just from the hip, heel dragging, pausing to feel the weight.
Then letting it go limp. Repeat, slower each time, feeling the heaviness. It's all about conscious awareness through movement.
And the arm lift. Slow raise from the shoulder, hand limp, imagining it attached by a single hair.
Emphasizing that complete release of effort.
Then the arm drop, letting gravity just pull it down in stages. Upper arm, then forearm and hand. Repeat.
Total surrender to gravity. And for the head and torso, just some gentle rolling side to side.
So the self-guided exercises are all about finding and releasing tension yourself.
Exactly. Cultivating that self-awareness.
Then, in later sessions with the patient, what's the focus?
Well, the initial goal is often just proving the tension exists. Later, It's about quickly rechecking those same points, leg drop, arm drop, abdomen, to make sure the gross tensions are gone.
Like monitoring progress. What are the signs they look for?
The arm dropping like dead weight, no reflex tightening in the belly when touched, just general looseness everywhere, hands, feet, chest, abdomen, neck, shoulders.
He paints this picture of the fully relaxed person in a spread eagle pose, arms and legs out.
Like a child at ease. Total openness, total surrender.
And he contrasts that with how older people often sit or lie ankles crossed, hands clasped on the belly or lap.
It's an energy conservation thing, he suggests. Kids have energy to burn. Older folks instinctively conserve it.
Which leads to another technique they try in later sessions.
Right. Patients relaxed, spread eagle, maybe pillow under the knees. Then Regardie crosses their ankles, interlaces their fingers, places hands on the abdomen.
A specific posture. Then he alternates between that and spread eagle, without talking.
Just observing. Then asks, which feels more comfortable?
And the answer is usually the crossed limbs posture, feeling warmer, more satisfying.
That's what he reports. More comfort, warmth, satisfaction, even pleasure.
And his theory for why is fascinating, the closed electrical circuit.
Yeah, this idea that the energy circulates inwards, maybe even amplifies like a step-up transformer. It can build until you feel like you need to be active.
And this isn't just about stopping activity, like sleep, because sleep isn't always restorative.
Exactly, especially if you're over-fatigued or have inner conflicts causing tension even while you're asleep.
Tense muscles are still burning energy, leading to fatigue, affecting thinking, memory.
Takes a toll on everything. And even at rest, the body's working heart, breathing, temperature, metabolism, all need energy for repair.
Good sleep allows that repair, boosts cell vitality, but tension blocks it, hinders circulation, strains the heart, restricts breathing.
It's a vicious cycle, whereas deep relaxation lets blood flow freely, slows the heart, eases breathing, supports cell repair, creates the ideal internal state.
Okay, so physical techniques are key, but then he brings in the power of imagination.
Right, as a vital complement. He revisits Mr. A, now in that crossed limbs posture, breathing deeply, sighing contentedly.
Sign of release in this context. Regardie adds a gentle touch, hands on head and over Mr. A's hands.
Seems to deepen the relaxation. Mr. A responds well.
Then comes a visualization, imagining being incredibly heavy, sinking into the bench.
About to be pulled through the floor by gravity, and Mr. A reports feeling even more relaxed. It shows how thoughts directly influence the physical state.
Regardie stresses again. Relaxation is an art improved with practice. Mr. A mentions feeling detached from his body, like it's separate.
Which Regardie sees as a good sign. Increased body awareness, moving towards a sense of self beyond just the physical.
Then the skein of wool visualization, imagining muscles like loose threads hanging down.
From ankle to toes, for instance. And Mr. A actually feels loosening and warmth in his foot. Targeted visualization, direct effect.
And he encourages us, the listeners, to try that visualization on different muscle groups.
Yeah, picture the looseness, feel the warmth. You can do it yourself.
Building on this, he introduces dirigation, directing blood flow with your mind.
Based on the physiological fact that focusing on a body part increases blood flow there. Vasodilation, like blushing, but done consciously.
And we can use this deliberately for relaxation. Think about tense areas, stimulate blood flow, feel warmth, muscles relax.
That's the idea. Use your mind to influence physiology constructively.
He starts with the brain, visualize it, feel any clearing or warmth, then blood flowing down the forehead to the eyes. Using a chandelier analogy.
Right, imagining the eye muscles as the chains, relaxing as warm blood flows in, letting the eyeballs sink back comfortably. He says it gets easier with practice.
Then broaden out. Temples, ears, cheeks, nose, mouth, lips, tongue, jaws. Feeling the whole head suffused with warm blood.
Leading to spontaneous relaxation, like a blush.
Then down to the throat larynx, pharynx, thyroid. Suggesting it might even help balance thyroid function.
Potentially, yes. Then visualizing blood pouring into the chest and lungs.
Renewing activity, relaxing vessels, nerves, muscles. Mr. A felt his breathing become fuller, easier.
Regardie even floats the idea it could help normalize blood pressure over time.
Then briefly, flushing the stomach, liver, kidneys, adrenals with visualized blood flow, boosting energy.
That's the suggestion. Then visualizing flow into the abdomen, lower trunk intestines, colon, genitourinary system, taking time with it.
He brings in Dr. Groddick's idea of the abdomen as a middleman, the belly mind.
Connected to instinct, the unconscious. So relaxing this area could address deep inner conflicts.
And finally, visualizing blood flow all the way down the legs to the toes. Feel the muscles relax with the warmth, then pause. Notice the feeling. lock in that memory.
So you can recall it later for quick relaxation.
Okay, that leads to the fourth stage, still using imagination actively.
Yeah, taking the mental side even further. He talks about the eidetic faculty, visual imagination.
Linking it to creativity, even genius. And suggesting relaxation cultivates this, leading to better health, ability, spiritual capacity.
Right. He keeps coming back to how energy increases with relaxation and how powerfully imagination affects the body. The interplay is key.
He assures us, with practice, we get better at visualization, gain more control over bodily processes, improve health, develop ourselves.
And it comes back to be yourself.
Oh.
Relaxation reveals your innate abilities, and imagination helps manifest them in this quiet state.
He tackles mind over matter directly. It acknowledges the flaky associations sometimes.
But insists on the core truth. Mental activity deeply influences physiology.
Like bad news messing up digestion, or sudden strength and mania, or arousal from reading certain things. Clear examples.
Which leads into psychosomatic medicine, body-mind. How long-term emotions or moods cause real physiological changes.
The chronic fight-or-flight response changing the body, needing psychosomatic treatment.
But again, first step is always deep physical relaxation before these mental experiments. Then he describes rhythmic breathing.
Slow, deep, regular breaths. 6-second cycles, ideally. The sign of success.
Yeah.
That quiet ripple over the solar plexus, warmth, power.
Exactly. Then comes the shrinking visualization. Imagine getting smaller to a tiny speck. Notice how breathing gets shallower.
Then falling. Recall falling backwards. Then imagine being that tiny speck falling in infinite space. Feeling of freedom. Note the breath.
Then the opposite, expanding. Cosmic forces converging, feeling energy and light flooding.
Then the opposite, expand to normal size. Breathing gets rapid, full, feeling vitality, clarity.
Then keep going. Expand to infinite size galaxies within you. Breathing becomes incredibly full. And he suggests personality issues, inferiority, imbalance, fears might just vanish.
Developing poise, dignity, health. Could neurasthenia even survive this? He asks.
And through it all, the focus on breath. Oxygen is life. Full lung capacity is vital for well-being, for being yourself. Relaxation stimulates the lungs, improves oxygen intake, helps heart and vessels.
Okay, then he brings in Elie Eamon and his work on visualization.
A great authority, Regardie says. Eamon had this fascinating experiment with color.
The torso diagram. 7 sections, colors of the spectrum, red top, violet bottom.
Right. So you relax, then vividly visualize red. Fire engine red, poppy red. Notice your breathing. It gets rapid, high in the chest clavicular. Matches red's top position.
Then visualize blue, silk blue, sky blue. Breathing gets deeper, slower, matches blue's lower position.
And he suggests trying all the colors, red to violet, to feel this connection yourself.
The why isn't clear, but the observation is crucial. Specific thoughts, color images, induce specific breathing reactions. Our whole metabolism might be susceptible to mental states.
He gives more examples. Low sounds, bass drum, lead to low breathing. High sounds, violin, lead to high, rapid breathing.
He even suggests trying shapes, circle, square, triangle, or tastes acid, sweet, sour, salt. See what happens.
Become your own researcher. And try it on others without telling them the theory, to rule out suggestion. The phenomenon itself is the point.
Then we get to the final set of relaxation exercises. He says these are really important, really effective. Assume we're already deeply relaxed now.
Right, maybe crossed ankles, hands on abdomen. First, visualize your skin pores. Not tiny, but big, wide openings.
Focus on small areas. Imagine them stretching open like this. Maybe feel a prickling.
Extend that visualization over the whole body, forehead, scalp, neck, chest, back, legs, thoroughly.
Next, the sponge body. Imagine your insides brain first, like Swiss cheese or a sponge, full of holes.
Extend that spongy feeling down through the neck, torso, legs, feet. Tell yourself, my arm feels like a sponge.
The expected result. Extreme lightness, weight disappears, tension gone, absolute repose.
To take it further, your whole body is now one large, living sponge with tiny holes everywhere. Imagine the air around you flowing through these spaces.
Filling any vacuum with oxygen. Imagine winds blowing through you, feet to head to feet, side to side. Get imaginative with the energy flow.
Finally, breathe through the body. Inhale not just via the nose, but imagine drawing air into the big pores on the soles of your feet, up through the body.
Exhale back down through the feet.
Right.
Then try inhaling through the crown of your head or the small of your back.
He admits it sounds fantastic, maybe weird, but insists it creates real tissue relaxation, circulates biological energies.
Leading to freedom, lightness, clarity, extraordinary vitality.
And he wraps up by saying these exercises are easy, the benefits immense for body and mind. Emotional relaxation, overcoming mental tension.
Letting life transform you. Sitting loose to life, he calls it. Discovering a new world of happiness and self-awareness.
So yeah, wrapping up this deep dive into Regardie's Be Yourself, it's really clear that learning to relax like this is way more than just chilling out. It's a profound journey.
A journey of self-discovery, peeling back those tension layers that stop us being truly ourselves. Experiencing life with more serenity, more peace.
And for you, the listener, his message is really try it, experiment, see for yourself, value your own experience over just believing him.
It definitely seems like consciously relaxing is this incredibly powerful tool. For stress, for energy, for living more authentically.
Absolutely. Which leads to our final thought for you to ponder. Now that you've explored these ways to unlock tension, what hidden parts of your own true self might emerge if you practice these techniques consistently?